Hey everyone. So today we're going to be looking at what is the karmic relationship that's between you and your spouse. So, why was this person assigned to you as a spouse in this lifetime? What would they do with you? What were they meant to do with you and accomplish with you? you know what is the very big major event that will happen in this lifetime regarding you and your spouse that's extremely karmic in nature. And you'll see that in every relationship there is something very major or one very big event that will happen, and it could even be like multiple events that happen. um, and every type of relationship is meant to teach you something. So this could, even if it's through like a bad relationship or something that's may not be so nice to go through, still they're teaching you something so that you become more complete as a person or an individual altogether. So we're gonna see things like, is your spouse coming to you to like manage your money in this lifetime? Are they coming to you so that you could really discover who you are and discover like your real attributes that are more like your spiritual true self? Are they, is your spouse being, is your spouse coming to you as an enemy from a past life to take some debts back? You know? Um, so your spouse has so many different ways and different relationships and different things that could happen to you. So we're going to figure out what exactly is that karmic relationship or that karmic purpose of your relationship. Um, so please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys are unsure about this topic and you guys really want all like the nitty-gritty and all the details of your relationship, you guys can book a consultation down below in on our website. Currently, everything is on sale that's there. A lot of our items are almost 50% off. Uh, so you guys could check that out. Yeah. So how exactly do we see this karmic purpose of your relationship? What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at our D1 chart here. And we're going to look at the Lord of the seventh house here. So let's say that the Lord here is, let's say Venus. So, so let's say Taurus is down here. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at where Venus is located in the chart. And from that, we'll get an idea of, where this marriage is going and what is that karmic thing that's going to happen. Um, Now this is a very, this topic is very deep and has a lot of depth to it. So if you guys are unsure, you could always leave a comment down below with your combinations. Just try to give as many aspects, if there are any aspects and any signs. Both those things are very useful. Okay, so we're going to go through the seventh lord in every house, and through this, we're going to understand that. So let's start off with seventh lord coming to Lugna here. So you'll see with this relationship, the main thing your spouse was sent to do for you is to reinvent your personalities. And this doesn't mean like, oh, you were, terrible before, and so now they're here to upgrade you. It's not like that. It's like they're here to awaken the true self, like the true person that you always were. You could imagine it like, you were like an eggshell before, but here, like your spouse is really, you know, cracking at you here so that, you could get the real you that was hidden underneath everything. So, and you'll see that it'll help you discover like the real spiritual being that you are in the universe, like your higher self. It'll get you closer to that true being, closer to your spirit or soul. So they'll be unlocking this version of you in this lifetime. So you'll see something that will happen is that a lot of people will say this after you get married, like this, maybe like 5, 10 years later, they'll say like, wow, like you're completely different now that you're married, like you were completely different when, you were in your teen years or even in your 20s, but now you're just like a completely different person. Like people will say this about you, and um yeah, um so yeah, you'll see this happen. You'll see that your spells will help you unlock, some of the stuff like, for example, confidence. This will be true if it's Mars that's coming here. So let's say if it's Mars in this area. So you'll see that your spells will be coming to you, so you unlock more of this confidence with you, so that you become more like grounded in that like you stand your ground with who you are, you don't take any nonsense from other people. Like this is what they'll help you uncover, you know you'll see that um with this kind of combination as well, you'll see that you'll also take on a couple of the traits of your spouse. So like for example, if you're I don't know, if your spouse is really like flowery and very like happy, you'll see that they'll transfer some of these qualities onto you. This is the real definition. You know that expression? Um like couples start to look alike as they, get older. Like how when you see like two old people who are married for like, the past like 40, 50 years, how they have so many things that they're alike. This is the true like definition of that. You'll see this is definitely true at like in the later years with these people. But yeah, this combination is really so that you work on yourself and on your personality and who you are in this lifetime. And your spells will help you through this evolution that you'll be going through. You'll also see your spells will be very much involved with like everything that you do in life. Like whether it be like any area, job, career, family, money, like anything, like your spells will be very much connected and very much like help you get through this. Now, it could be through an either like a nice way or a not so nice way, depending on the planet here. You'll see again, so let's go back to like that Mars. You'll see that through this, they'll help you develop yourself, but it'll be through a much more like rough way. Well, like it'll go through like a lot of pressure to do this. Imagine learning something from an army commander. There's no way they're gonna do it in a nice like flowery way. Like of course they're gonna have their own like, drop down and give me 50 push-ups, so that you develop yourself. Like it's not gonna be a very fun way. Um, but you will see that, you'll learn to develop yourself and through this way. Um, Yeah, if it's like a benefic planet, you'll see that, let's say if it's oops, not Jupiter there. Let's say if it's Sagittarius here, so Jupiter goes there. You'll see that this way you'll learn to be much more of a positive person, and it'll be very like noticeable. Like, you know, maybe in like your background culture, like the family you grew up with, they're so like negative that for any situation they'll like bring people down and say things that are like, did you see how this person did this? I can't believe it. They should know better, and they should do it this way or that way. Like your spells will help you get rid of these beliefs that like limit you and limit other people. It'll make you more of an optimistic person, and so that you're not being held back by some of the shame that's in our society. And you'll be the type of person, with this kind of situation that you you won't be affected by every single negative thing that comes your way. So this is another way that you'll help to develop yourself and your personality. So there's that. So let's go seventh lord in second house. You'll see with this combination, your spouse is sent to manage your money and your assets. So this is managing not necessarily the income that you make from work, because that's another house, but it's the like saved money that you have, like the money you have in a bank, or like your assets. Like money that you have saved in like these um like savings accounts, or in stocks and things like that. Like the money, like all the things that you own, like the shares that you own, and that kind of stuff. You'll see that your spouse will be here to help you handle these kind of things. They'll make sure that, oh, depending on the planet that goes here, and if it's a benefic planet, they'll make sure that you're not like spending this stuff like recklessly. They're making sure that you could actually have this money saved up, and it's not just going to, and that like it's not being, lost or anything, or it's not being spent recklessly or anything like that. So you'll see that from these people, that they'll really help you manage your money, and they really will go through like a deep dive of all the money that you have to make sure that it's in the best possible savings account. Like if this is a benefit plan, oh, let's put like Mercury. Mercury is very good here. So that's Mercury. Then let's say, so let's put Gemini here. So this three, nine, oh geez. Okay, let's put Virgo here instead. So Virgo, 6, 12, 1. So you'll see with this kind of combination, you'll see that your spouse, they'll handle the paperwork when setting up new savings accounts or new accounts, like bank accounts, or when dealing with the paperwork of different like assets. You'll see that they'll help you with the negotiation part, with like making sure that your money gets managed well. This especially will handle your money extremely well. They'll put it in all the accounts that get you like the maximum yields. Like they will know, and they will do the calculations that really optimizes your savings, so you get the most amount of interest, for example. You'll see another thing that's very karmic here is that um, they'll also be very connected to your family, like the family that you grew up with, like your siblings or your mom or dad, like the people in your house. They'll be very connected to these people. So you'll see that with this, uh, and it could be connected in a good or bad way here. So you'll see that your spouse would have had a deep connection with your family from a past life. And actually, they would have, let's say like people in your family, your spouse would have been born in the same family as these people in a past life. Not in this life, but in a past life, all of these guys, your spouse and your family, would have been relatives. And it'll either it would have ended out like good or bad depending on the planet here. Like let's say this is like Scorpio ascendant or Scorpio in there, so you have K2 that comes here. You'll see that uh your spouse, this will be very karmic with your spouse and your family, in that your spouse, they will not see your family so often, and they will like often say like, I don't want to go there. And you'll see it's because in a past life, your spouse like left your family in that lifetime. And so in this lifetime as well, they're still keeping this distance. But you'll see the karmic thing here is that for you to try and mend these differences so you guys could like be together. Because there was this separation that happened in that past life. Um, yeah. So there's seventh lord in second house. Let's go seventh lord in third house. You'll see with this combination, you'll see that your spouse will be there, and it'll be very karmic. This is like a karmic debt that they have towards you, that they will help you out with your paperwork that deals with anything here. So, you know, in today's world, there's a lot of paperwork that deals with like everything. There's karma, there's paperwork when buying a house, when getting like a new bank, when even just opening a bank account, buying a car, uh, buying like a boat, for example, renting a place, um, really big purchase. So many things have like paperwork here. Even when you get married, there's paperwork for that too. So you'll see your spouse will be the one that deals with this paperwork in this lifetime. They'll be the one to like get it done for you. Now, they'll get it done, but it could either be in a way that benefits you or that doesn't benefit you, depending on the planet that comes here. Let's say if it's Saturn that comes here, you'll see that when they sign your paperwork, and this is a karmic event, they will be the ones, one way or another, that signs the paperwork for something. Um, let's put a sign here. So this is Capricorn. So this is 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. Uh, is that right? No, that's not right. This is 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there you go. So you'll see here. Okay, this is a very heavy combination. The Saturn here will be involved with your paperwork, um, that deals with like your loan or your debt. So like your debt towards a bank or your debt towards a person here. And you'll see that somehow like they'll be involved with signing it, like maybe as a witness or something like this, depending on what type of debt it is. Um, and you'll see when doing this that because it's Saturn, it probably won't benefit you, or whatever they sign, it'll take multiple attempts. Like it'll take a long time for this to go through. And you'll be like, why did this take, you know, like 8, 9 months for this to go through when normally this goes through in like, 2 weeks. So you'll see that there'll be like a delay in that kind of stuff. Um, so you'll see that. You'll see as well, there'll be the other thing here is that your spouse will also help you be more of a social person. You'll see that they'll connect you to a lot of people. They'll be like, oh, you haven't called this person in a long time. Maybe you should talk with them again. Um, they'll keep you like very connected to all the people that you know. They'll also keep you very connected to your neighbors as well. Like you may or may not like talk to them that often, but you'll see your spouse will be like, "Hey, we should go talk to your neighbors," or they'll walk out of the house and they'll say hi to the neighbors, and since by default you'll be there, they'll be like, "Hey, here is my spouse. Here, talk to them as well," and then they'll have you dragged into this conversation. But you'll see it's to keep you more social, so that you're more talkative and that you can really interact more. So here they're teaching you a lot on your like communication skills and keeping you talkative to other people. They'll teach you a lot of new words as well. You'll see that your spouse, everybody has like certain words that they like to use. You could probably hear even from me, like when I talk, there's certain words that I use a lot more than others, but you'll see that you'll catch on to the words that your spouse is using. Let's say your spouse really likes to say, "Yo, what's up, home dog?" You'll see that you'll start like catching on and start using this word. And you might not even like that word at the beginning too, but they'll just end up using it so much, and then you'll start saying it. Um, and yeah, so you'll see you'll catch on to the words and dialogues that they use. They'll also introduce you to a lot of books as well, into like different things that you could read. So yeah. Uh, so let's move on. Seventh Lord and fourth house here. You'll see with this combination, the karmic thing that they're doing is that your spouse will be very much heavily involved with the your vehicle that you guys will be getting and the house, like the property that you guys will own. So like how a lot of people when they get married, they'll move out and get their own place. So you'll see your spouse will have a very heavy and important role to play when you guys are getting both a vehicle and your own property. they'll be the one that uh you'll see they'll either be the ones who like agree to get this vehicle or this property, or they'll be the ones who get most of that work done getting these things. You'll see as well that and you'll see the reason is that they owe you this property or they owe you this vehicle from a past lifetime. So you'll see this is why they'll be very heavily involved when it's time for you guys to purchase a vehicle or purchase a new home. They'll be the one that's involved, but the way that they're involved depends on the planet here. You'll see that, let's say if it's Venus, so seventh Lord Venus coming over here. You'll see that they'll be extremely heavily involved with getting your new car or your new property. But you'll see once this person gets it, it'll be a very nice looking car, or it'll be a very nice property, one that really looks great. And you'll see it's because they have owed you this from a past lifetime. They owed you a really luxurious, a very nice looking vehicle or property. If let's say if Saturn comes here. So Saturn, so let's put Capricorn here. So 10, so this would be, is this debilitated, I think? So 10, 4, no, it's not debilitated. Um, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, never mind, exalted. Um, okay. So you'll see here, your spouse will be very heavily involved with getting your property or vehicle. And the thing is that they'll either get you a vehicle or property that's old, or that's in a neighborhood that's filled with old people. Either filled with old people or like a not very brand new looking neighborhood. It's a very like it's a neighborhood that's been established for many, many, many years. You'll see they'll also help you with the what is it like the legal parts of getting your vehicle and your property. So they'll be very good at this, making this decision. It'll take them a while to make the decision, but they'll definitely help you in getting it. Yeah. So there's that. You'll see is let's go to seventh lord and fifth house. You'll see with this placement, this is a very, very good placement because you'll see that your spouse will be the one like the trigger for unlocking a lot of your past life good deeds because you'll see the fifth and the ninth house they're both are involved with your past life's like good deeds like your oh, I forget the word but the like accumulated karma that you have done. So you'll see once you get married a lot of like you'll be getting the fruits of your efforts and the fruits of your actions through your spouse here, and it'll be very prominent too. And those fruits, they could either be good or bad depending on the planet here. So you'll see that, let's say, let's put like moon here, for example. So and then moon comes here. So this is will be in the sign of Taurus. You'll see this is extremely good. You'll see because look, your seventh lord is exalted here in the fifth house. So you'll see that your spouse will be delivering all of your good karma that you have done. It'll be extremely good things that come your way once you get married. You'll see your luck will go up in life and you'll be receiving a lot of good things. And the reason is that you have done so many good things in a past life. And once you, and you know, it'll come to you only once you get married because it'll be your spouse who will be delivering this stuff. You'll see your spouse will cook a lot of really great food because of this as well. So that's at least something that's good, good food. You'll see as well with something like this that your spouse will also be the one who like teaches you a lot of things. You'll learn a lot from your spouse, or you'll see due to your spouse that you'll go to like learn something new, like a new skill or a new like go take like a new course or something like this. So you see that uh, your spouse will be the trigger or the person who helps you unlock some knowledge. And this will be knowledge from your past life. So it'll be something that you have already learned. And you'll see that your spouse, they'll tell you to go learn or, learn something new. And it'll be like something that you've already known from a past life. So let's say this is Mars here. So Mars comes here. And what will the sign be? So 12, 11. Okay. So you'll see that your spouse will ask you to go. There are a couple of things, and it depends on the aspects here, but they'll ask you to learn a skill that has to do with like property, if the fourth lord is like connected with this somehow. That'll help you earn more money. Or you'll see that with Mars here as well, this could be like a martial art here, like some kind of like physical skill, like karate, for example, that you could learn, so that you could, and this will be a skill from a past life that you know, right? But this is an extremely good combination to have. So let's go to the seventh lord and sixth house. So, we just did seventh lord and fifth house, which was extremely good. Now, here's something that will not feel good at all is seventh lord in sixth house. And you'll see here that depending on the planet here, this would be in your spouse would be the one responsible for dealing with all of your debts. So you'll see, like, if you take like a lot of loans and everybody takes loans to some point, even your mortgage is something like that. Uh, any type of loan that you get, or like any type of like payment that's like a phone plan, like something like this. It's a payment that's happening. Like you have the phone, but you make the payments like over a couple of months. Like things like that. You'll see your spouse would be the one to really regulate these things and take advantage of that. You'll see as well that your spouse will also be the one that, depending on the planet here, that will either trigger some sickness in your life, Uh, or, again, if it's a really benefic planet here, they'll help you to cure your sickness. But if it's another malefic planet, then uh, you'll see that they'll trigger some type of sickness in your life. For example, if it's, let's put Saturn here. So 10, and he's the 11th lord there. So this comes into here. So Saturn comes here. You'll see that when you get married, they'll, they will at some point you'll get an illness that will be very long term, a long-term illness, because Saturn's illnesses do not just go away quickly. But it's something that's, and you can look, it's even in the sign of Sagittarius, which is the sign of your natural past life uh, uh, karmas here. So you'll see that it is due to your own past life that you will receive the sickness, but it will happen only once marriage happens. So you'll see that the sickness will be triggered once you get married. But you'll see as well here, like for example, Saturn here. Saturn will be taking care of your like here, like this could be like bank loans. Uh, no, that could be happening. You'll see that it'll take them some time, but they will really like look after all of the loans. They'll look at every decision and be like, okay, this is either good or this is not good. Um, you'll see is let's put you'll see as well with this that your spouse will also be the one who will be very much connected to getting you a lawyer or a doctor. So they will be getting you a lawyer or a doctor that you've had a past life connection to. And so um it is your spouse who will initiate this contact with a certain doctor. They'll probably be like, oh, after you get married, I have a better doctor. Come talk to this person. Or maybe you should go somewhere else to see this lawyer. So you'll see that as well. But you'll see as well that uh, there will also be a lot of like fights in your marriage, especially if let's put like something like this. So Mars comes here in the sign. You'll see that there'll be a lot of fights in your marriage, a lot of arguments. But again, um, this is due to your own like past life karma with this person. But it's to make you, because look, it's Mars that's here. It's to make you like toughen up as a person so that you're not like as like soft skin because everybody goes through something in life, like some kind of hardship or some type of argument. It's almost unavoidable. But you'll see that this is so that you really like get like a tougher exterior so that you could handle this. So you'll see that these arguments that will happen, and these will be like pretty fierce because it's Mars. You'll see that these arguments that happen, it's to make you like a stronger person. And it'll really make you a stronger person. Like it's setting this up for your next life that's coming for you to be stronger. Okay. So we have that. Let's put seventh lord in its own house. I don't know how to draw this, but like I'll put it like that. Seventh lord in its own house. So you'll see here that your spouse will be the one who connects you to a lot of people and will connect you to a lot of different relationships or partnerships. Like relationship, these could be like business partnerships. Like they'll be like, oh, I know a person who could help you with your business, who like you could partner up with. So you'll see that your spouse will be very much connected to making sure that you get these connections with these people, and so that you uh, can really like find these people. So once you get married, your spouse will be connecting you to different partnerships here, and they'll also be teaching you how to manage these people. They'll be like, okay, you gotta understand that people need an equal cut, for example, or that this is what you need to do in a legal uh, partnership, for example. They'll also be showing you this combination is also teaching you properly how to like understand what marriage and love is in this lifetime. Because you'll see that you'll learn a lot about relationships with this. And this is probably the main goal or the like karmic thing that your spouse will teach you. You know, to understand what it's like to live with somebody else and to be with somebody else and to respond to their needs and to really understand how to coexist with somebody else. They'll understand, they'll teach you the things that, nobody else will teach you. Like you'll understand that there is an emotional side to this connection. Let's say if the sign is moon, the moon sign here, you'll see that your spouse is there to teach you the emotional connection that's between you and this other person, to understand what it's like to really um like understand another person's emotion, because your spouse's emotion may be extremely different than your own here. So it's about understanding the emotions of other people and really responding to them. So in this lifetime, this particular spouse was sent to you so you can understand this particular energy of somebody and understand what it's like to live with this type of energy all the time. Like here, you're understanding to live with the energy of somebody who's very emotional, very attached, and very sensitive. So you have to really understand here how to, like dealing with sensitive people, it's very different. Sensitive people, there's a way to do it. And by the end of this lifetime, or even by the end of this relationship with this person, you really would have understood what it's like to uh, be with a person that's like that, that's sensitive. You'll see like if this is Mars, so let's say this is Aries, so Mars is here. Here, your spouse is here to teach you what it's like to live with somebody who has like a quick temper, somebody who gets upset very quickly, because you will have to be the person. Remember, you're the one who has to deal with this, right? So it's like, you know, after being put in this situation time and time again, you'll understand, how to deal with these type of people, and you'll understand it to such a depth. Because remember, if let's say if you're working with somebody who gets upset all the time, it's different than being married to somebody who gets upset all the time. Because when you're married to this person, you'll understand them to a level that's so deep and that nobody else will understand to such a depth. Right? So here you'll really understand the ins and outs of dealing with somebody who can get upset very quickly. And also, it's not just that they get upset. It's somebody who's very passionate, somebody who really like they're very like goal oriented, and they really always like have like a laser focus on getting something done. Like it's teaching you how to deal with somebody who has this energy. So you'll see that with this combination. So let's go seventh lord and eighth house. So this is an interesting combination. You'll see your spouse will be very much connected to showing you how to, well, they'll be the one dealing with things like your insurance. There'll be a very karmic time when they are dealing with your insurance, and you'll see like this could be any insurance, life insurance, car insurance, and anything like that. You'll see that there'll be a time that they're very something very important happens with this, and depends on the planet that comes here. That let's put like Scorpio here. So you'll see that K2 comes here. You'll see that your spouse will be the one that deals with your insurance, but you may have some losses, or they may teach you to not be as connected to this insurance. So you'll see that um, here you may not. They may be the ones filling out this insurance form, but you may not get it, or things may not go through properly. But this is their karma that they're delivering to you. Um, so they'll be handling it, but like your insurance, but you probably won't get it as well. So one lesson that you have to learn from this is to be detached from this kind of thing and the results of getting this insurance or this inherited money, like the money that you inherit from like your parents, or the inherited vehicles or whatever. you know this kind of combination as well, if I want to stick to this K2, this also, your spouse will be very much connected in teaching you occult aspects of life. You'll see your spouse will be extremely into those occult topics like astrology, tarot card reading, and to esoteric topics like like energy flow and like your chakras, things like that. And so you'll see that once you get married to this person, uh, it'll trigger this event that you will start to learn about these things through your spouse. And you'll see that they'll be the one that unlocks this past life knowledge of these kind of things, especially since this K2 is in like Sagittarius. So a lot of the spiritual and like religious associations with these kind of like occult topics. So, like for example, they could show you something like astrology and how it's connected to you know, like their religion, for example. You'll see as well. Let's put like a benefic planet here. So you'll see that. Let's put Venus. So Venus comes here, Scorpio. So you'll see they'll be very, very much connected with your insurance, things like insurance and inheritance. And especially when somebody passes away, like you'll get money from them, and your spouse will be the one that makes sure that you get this money safely. You'll see if it deals with insurance, your spouse will be the one who signs you up for the best type of insurance, or like they'll switch you to a better plan, for example, or something like that. You'll see, like, let's put this in the other sign of Venus, Taurus. So here, Gemini. So you'll see that your spouse will deal with the paperwork that comes with dealing with like insurance, inheritance, that kind of stuff. So they'll be the one filling it out for you, or they'll be like a witness, for example, something like this, and they'll deal with that. You'll also see your spouse, they'll be heavily involved with any death ritual in your life. And this could be either your own death ritual. So let's say like when you pass away. Now, this doesn't mean that you will guaranteed pass away first, but it's the fact that, if you do pass away, they will be the one to like have a very important event with how it goes through. Like, they will be the one to decide how it's done and hiring like music or like a priest or whoever to do like this kind of work. So see, they'll be like heavily involved, either in a good or bad way, depending on the planet that comes here. Okay, so let's do this one. This seventh lord and ninth house is such a good combination. This is a really great combination because all your past life good deeds are stored in your ninth house. So you'll see, once you get married, it's through your spouse that all these good deeds, all this past life, like the fruits of your past life get unlocked. And it's such a great combination here because this is especially boosted if it's a benefic planet that comes here. So let's say if this is if this is Jupiter that comes here, you'll see because this ends up being the sign of Aquarius. Once you get married, you'll see that you'll start getting a lot of money. So you'll start going to things like a temple, church, or doing some type of religious activity or something like this. And that's one thing. But the other thing is that you'll start to unlock a lot of money. And you'll say this, you'll say like, wow, that once I got married to you, it's as if my success just started to go up and up. From whatever work you're doing, you'll start to earn a lot more money from it. So you'll see your spouse will really be heavily involved with helping you earn like your past life good deeds here. Even if it's like a malefic planet, so let's put Saturn here. So, mm, so let's put the sign of Aquarius. So Saturn comes here in Aries. 11 so I know Saturn's debilitated here, but you'll see that your spouse will be heavily involved with helping you start like a new business or start a new career from this. And you'll see whatever this career is, like it'll be initiated by your spouse. Like they'll be the one to give you the idea or to, get you to go in this direction. And the career that you'll end up going in will be like a very karmic one in your life, but it'll only be unlocked through your spouse. Um, and you'll see that's also true because Capricorn is here. So whatever this career is that your spouse will get you through, you'll have to start from the beginning. And you'll see that this career you're doing it because you have a debt to whatever. Let's say if you're doing like nursing or something like that, you'll see it's because you have a very heavy debt towards these people. And to be honest, you might not let you definitely won't be comfortable with this, but you'll see that over time you definitely will grow from this. So yeah, they'll also be like heavily involved, like your spouse will be heavily involved with like your religious beliefs that come, and even just like your ethics. Like let's say if you, let's say you were like a very shady person and you got married, you'll see that your spouse will teach you how to not be as shady. If Rahu is not connected with this. If Rahu is connected with this, then honestly, you'll probably be even more shady. after marriage. But you'll see that they'll heavily influence your ideas of what you think is right and wrong. So that will be heavily influenced, and that's a very important aspect of your life, um, of you thinking what is right and wrong. Um, so yeah. So let's go on to here. This is a very powerful combination, seventh lord and 10th house, because you'll see when you get married, your career path will start to change or be like very different later on in your life. So you'll see that let's say if you don't change your career or your like wherever you work, you'll see that they will either change your like help you change your responsibilities or make you do something different there, or that yeah, so that'll happen. Or you'll see that your spouse, once you get married, you may change your position or job altogether. So let's say if this is the sign of like Scorpio, and so K2 comes here, which is the other Lord of Scorpio, you'll see that what is the sign? Aquarius, I think. So you'll see that you'll have this conversation with your spouse, and that they'll say that you're not making enough money at where you work right now. So you'll see that you'll change. Your spouse will be the one that initiates this change in career or job, due to the amount of money that you're currently earning there. And so this is the transformation that's meant to come through you, and that to make you change your job so that you could hopefully earn a bit more money. And so that you really realize and understand like your worth that you're getting. So you'll see that they'll be heavily involved there. They'll also be heavily involved in helping you accomplish the main purpose of your incarnation in this lifetime. So you'll see that, like this 10th house is the house of career. So you'll see that here it's the well, not just career, but also like the karma that you have to perform in this lifetime. So you'll see your spouse will be here to help you with this. Like you won't be alone in performing your karma. It's not like something like, your spouse will just be home and then you'll be doing your thing every day. And it's like a separated thing. It's your spouse will be heavily involved with the main karma that you're doing in this lifetime. So that's at least good that you won't be alone in doing this. Like they'll help you and they'll have a very heavy influence on what you'll be doing here. So, yeah. So that's what you'll see with that. So let's go 11th, 7th Lord and 11th house. This is a nice combination because you'll see that your spouse, they will, like, once you earn money, your that money will go to your hands, which will then go to your spouse's hands. So you'll see that they'll be the one who's in direct control of the income that you make at work. And depending on the planet here, they will either make sure this income goes in the right place, or it'll make like your money get lost, for example. So you'll see that, let's say if Venus here, or not Venus, like the sign of Libra. So Venus comes here into Aquarius. So you'll see your spouse will be very heavily involved in making sure that you get money, like the maximum amount of money from your job. They'll tell you things. They'll be like, you're worth a lot more. Like you should be earning this much money. You should ask for to get more money, like a raise, for example. So they'll really make sure that like your money increases. This is like a definite surefire thing. Your spouse will make sure that you get more money from your work, one way or another, at some point in your life. You'll see. So let's put another planet here. Let's put Uh, let's put Mercury here. Or let's put Sun. So Sun comes over here. This could only be Leo. So Leo, Aquarius, 10, 9. Okay. So this is a really great thing because you'll see your spells will be very much connected with your boss. Like something with your boss will happen and they'll tell you, oh, you should be getting a promotion. So somehow they'll be involved with you getting a promotion or getting a higher position. And due to this, you'll also be getting more money in your position. So you'll see that your spouse will make sure your status is where it needs to be in your like wherever you're working, and that you're getting the right recognition and that you're earning the money that you deserve here. So that's the karmic purpose that your spouse is here. Make sure you really like they're on like there to make sure you get that money that you deserve. So there's that. And finally, seventh lord in 12th house. You'll see that your spouse is very much connected with your spending here. And depending on the planet, so let's put Venus here. So you'll see Venus, you'll see that Venus here, it'll make you spend a lot more money, but it'll make you spend money so that you're more comfortable in life. So like your spouse will make sure that you purchase like really like the best bed or the best mattress or the best pillows or the best blankets so that you could really sleep comfortably here, right? So this kind of combination with Venus coming here, it your spouse has a direct say with your spending, but with because it's Venus, it'll make sure that you spend on just the best quality things. Like they will literally tell you, they'll say it's not worth getting something cheap because it'll just break right away and it won't feel good anyways. Might as well get something good quality that will really last you and that will like really benefit you the most. You'll see with that. So they'll always be connected with your spending one way or another. You'll see if it's Jupiter that comes here. So let's put 9 here. So it comes here. So 9, 3, 2, I think. So you'll see with Jupiter here, Jupiter will really make sure that you're spending things like on things that are necessary. Like they'll make sure that you're not spending on like some kind of like they'll really make sure you're not wasting your money with the way that you're spending. Like they'll say like, they'll really ask you, is this very necessary to buy? So they'll they'll really be the one controlling your spending, but you'll see with Jupiter, it'll be teaching you to control your spending so that you spend it in a more beneficial way so that you're not like harming yourself or really like you're not putting yourself in a bad position, by overspending, for example. You'll see like if it's a malefic planet here, so let's say if it's Mars, it's one here, so Mars, and this will be a sign of Virgo. You'll see that there'll be a lot of fights regarding your spending, but it's because you're probably spending so much. What it'll be, it's you're spending so much money when you have a lot of debts to pay off. So they'll be fighting you. They'll be like, you really can't afford this. So they'll be the one who will really like fight you on this and making sure you're not spending like recklessly here. Um, but yeah, your spouse will really control your spending here. Um, Yeah, so you'll see as well, your spouse will be very much connected to your ancestors. So there'll be something here. Your spouse will unlock. Let's put that same example with Jupiter. So 9 and then Jupiter's in Taurus here. So you'll see that your spouse will bring some type of religious thing that has been in your like lineage. Your spouse will introduce you to like some religious thing that hasn't been talked about in your lineage for many generations, or even if it has been talked about, it hasn't been done as much. So you'll see your spouse will bring this back into your lifetime. Like this will be knowledge that's been passed down from your ancestors. Your spouse will know this knowledge and will say like, "Oh, you should do this and this, and here, let me show you how to do this kind of things." So you'll see that something with your ancestors will be connected here as well. Your spouse will also give you money here. Like this is money that should have been owed to your ancestors, but because your ancestors are no longer alive, this money will come to you in this lifetime. Um, so yeah, so you'll see that something dealing with ancestors will come. You'll see that let's put a different sign here. Uh, let's put K2 over here. So this has to be Scorpio and this has to be Mars, Aries. So you'll see in this combination, your spouse will unlock like a very like a spiritual thing that had to do with your ancestors. And this is something your ancestors have done many lifetimes ago, but it's been lost in the generations a long time ago. So it hasn't been talked about. So you'll see that it'll be something spiritual that will come back up in this lifetime. Okay, so that is seventh Lord in all 12 houses. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below and try to put as many aspects and the signs that are involved. Like don't just say like seventh Lord and third house, what's the results? Well, because I already said that, but you know, like the sign and the Lord and the aspects give you the like full picture of everything that happens. And if you want to know even more about the details, because I only covered a little bit here, and even when you comment, only some portion will be revealed. You'll see if you want to know everything about this karmic purpose of your relationship, you could book a consultation down below. We have our relationship consultation, and that consultation is already almost 50% off. So you'll be getting all this information in great detail with a heavy discount as well. So you check that out and make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. And thank you.